Secretary of State, former CIA Director Mike Pompeo. Welcome, Mr. Secretary. Let's start with the meeting between Zelensky and Putin. Forgive me for being a bit skeptical of anything Putin says, but how should Zelensky plan for a meeting with an unreformed ex-KGB agent?
Trey, great to be with you. I guess the one-word answer to that is very carefully. Maybe that's 2 words. You're right, ex-KGB agent and someone who has repeatedly lied about his intentions. The Ukrainians did a wonderful job of defending their nation after the initial onslaught, but not making much progress since then. So a difficult set of conversations, and President Zelensky should be clear about his objectives, the things he believes he can achieve, and trust but verify from back in President Reagan's day will be the model that he needs to adopt in this conversation.
All right, Mr. Secretary, stability in the Middle East seems inextricably intertwined or linked to Iran. Can that ever be achieved without regime change? I mean, can you ever strike a deal with Iran, speaking of trust, that you can rely on as long as they're being run by religious fanatics?
Trey, it seems unimaginable to me that there is a deal that the Iranians would commit to and then execute against, that is, live up to without cheating, stealing, lying about what they were actually doing. No, it's going to take a very different regime mindset than the one that's there, been there since 1979. That theocracy, kleptocracy combination is deadly for Americans and for Israelis and bad for the Gulf Arab states as well. And so while I'm untroubled by the fact that President Trump's team is trying to negotiate an outcome, I think they need to do so with eyes wide open, no naivete about the likelihood that the Iranians will ever honor any commitment that they make at the negotiating table. There's no history of them doing that, and no reason to expect that's changed.
All right, you're a smart guy, so I'm going to span the globe with you. We have a meeting between Putin and Xi. What do you think that was about? I mean, for all I know, China wants to take over Russia too. So what would those 2 leaders be collaborating about?
Well, Trey, I don't know about the smart part, but thanks for the kind words. Look, in the end, they are team beat America, right? So it may be that they have their conflicts, places they don't agree. I'm sure the Russians eye the Chinese warily, a big population in the east without one matching it in the eastern part of Russia. But make no mistake about it, for the moment, for this time, the Chinese have provided dual-use technology to the Russians in Ukraine. They've provided resources. They've bought almost all of the Russian energy and gas over the last, now 2.5 years. These 2 are absolutely, what's the right word? In cahoots, not a very diplomatic word. In cahoots working against the United States of America and our democracy. They want us to decline. And I'm sure that conversation was how can they together go further that objective.
All right, let's switch hemispheres. Venezuela is in our own backyard, lots of energy, minerals. Is there a deal to be reached there?
Actually, there's space here for an outcome. Perhaps not with Maduro directly. Perhaps we have to find a successor to Maduro himself. After all, he is a kingpin, a drug kingpin. He has killed lots of Americans with the drugs that he has transshipped out of his country and through his country. But yes, there is a really huge opportunity in our hemisphere with Venezuela, with Guyana, with Brazil, with Argentina, with this great powers of South America with real resources. And so I hope we can find a path forward. I saw the opposition leader today on Fox News speaking about what that model might look like. I actually think there is an opportunity to deliver this, and I hope Maduro understands that the model that he's lived with for so long against a Trump era 2.0 is not likely to be a sustainable model for him.
Mike Pompeo, who's held about every significant position you can possibly hold in our country, including serving in uniform. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in the Pompeo family.
And thank you for joining us. Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there. Thank you.
You too. Take care. We'll see you soon. Yes, sir.